Propelled by six mega trends, the world economy is changing at a dramatically different pace. In fact, the next 10 years will see a bigger change in the world economy than the last 25 years put together. Number one, what we have is a restructuring of the global economy, a shift in the center of gravity from the developed to the emerging economies. As recently as 1990, emerging economies were at the periphery of the world economy. Today, they account for about a third of the world's GDP and are still growing at 2 to 3 times the pace of the developed economies. By 2025, they will make up more than half of the world's GDP. In many ways, they will be actually the world's center of gravity. Not every emerging market will make it from here to there. However, I think a few of the big ones, like China, like India, like Indonesia, have a pretty good shot at getting there. Number two, what we have is greater interconnectedness in the world economy. Interconnectedness, of course, is very good in many ways. However, interconnectedness also brings with it actually growing risks. Imagine the collapse of a Eurozone economy like Cyprus or Greece, a deadly virus originating from one corner of the world, Al-Qaeda or another type of terrorism engulfing the world. These are the types of risks that we actually now face at an increasing pace and in many ways of an increasing magnitude. Number three, what we have is essentially demographic trends. It's well known. Demography, as they say, is destiny. And what we have are three types of demographic trends. In the rich economies, birth rates are declining rapidly, populations are getting older. And the challenge that these economies face is who is going to pay for old age social security and healthcare. In the emerging economies, it's actually the opposite situation. They don't yet face the old age challenge. Populations are young and they are growing sometimes very rapidly, as in Africa. If the governments are able to create jobs, this young population, this growing population can become a demographic dividend. If not, actually the young jobless populations become breeding grounds for revolution, for terrorism. Then you have a third trend, China and Russia in particular, where the big question, one of the biggest questions that these two economies face is, will we become old before we become rich? Number four is the problem challenges connected to food, water, energy, and environment. 80% of the world's population, that's about 5 billion out of 7 billion people, belong to emerging economies. As these 5 billion people are becoming more affluent, they want to eat better food, they want more lighting in their homes, and they want to go more places. And what that means is that the demand for food, water, and energy is rising faster than world population. I think as technology optimists, we can say that the world will find a solution to these challenges. I don't think that's really the big issue. The key question is not so much in my mind whether we will find a solution to the growing needs for food, fresh water, and energy, but whether the technology solutions that the world creates will be environmentally friendly or environmentally disastrous. Number five is, notwithstanding all of the developments that we have seen, in fact, dramatic developments that we have seen over the last 25 years in technology, we are, in fact, witnessing paradigm-shifting technologies of a type that were unimaginable just even a few years back. It's mind-boggling the kinds of changes that are taking place today. Look at genetic engineering, more human-like robots, driverless cars. Look at wearable computing. Look at the Internet of Things. In fact, last but not least, look at the shale revolution. Look at all the developments in the area of new energy, be it in solar, be it in bioenergy, and so on. None of these is pie in the sky. These are all technologies that are here today. Now, some of them have not yet been commercialized, but they are here. They are realities. In fact, if you look at the past trend, It's almost given that even just over the next 10 years, we will see the emergence of paradigm shifting technologies that we haven't even started dreaming about. Last but not least is the power of the individual. If we go back to just a few hundred years back, power belonged to the religious institutions, to the army, to the state. Over the last 200 years, we saw the emergence of the giant corporation that employed 1 million people or more. Corporations like Walmart, like IBM, like Procter and Gamble. But today, actually, a Bill Gates or a Bin Laden, a Steve Jobs or a Julian Assange, that these individuals, for good or for bad, can take on mighty institutions and humble them. So these are the 6 mega trends that we, as smart countries, as smart companies, as smart individuals, must keep track of and keep asking, what kinds of capabilities do we need to keep building to thrive in the new era?